Hi guys, unexpected bonus Porsche video for you. And that's because I came out to the car one evening and found a puddle of coolant under the left front. It's pretty obvious where that was coming from. So I decided to, I thought it would be a good opportunity to upgrade the cooling. So I went for CSF radiators, which you can see there. Better cooling, 40% better cooling apparently. So I decided to do the pair. And yes, CSF did send me one polished one and one matte one, which was a bit odd. But anyway, this isn't a how-to step-by-step video. There's plenty of those out there on the internet. What this is just to show that you can do something like this on your Porsche with reasonably common tools, even if you don't have a garage or anything like that. So it's more to show that and, you know, show a real world example of the sort of thing or the sort of challenges that you come across when you do something like this in the UK or any other climate that's similar to the UK. So anyway, I shall let you watch the video. Straight away here, I've found something I don't like the look of. A lot of the fixtures and fittings just look like this, where they were so badly rusted you couldn't even tell what they were at one point. So, you know, are they Phillips, are they Torx, or they, you know, I mean, they were pretty bad, especially that one there. It's absolutely appalling. So, but after a while I realised that you don't have to take off those splitters. They're just screwed to the arch liner, so you just take the arch liner out with them on. So I did that, and then I addressed those rusty fixings later on. So once the bumper was gone and the arch liners were removed, I actually chose to put the car back on the ground. You don't have to do that, but I just prefer to work on a car that's on the ground, on its wheels, if you can. So if you are going to do that, if you're working on the left hand side, turn the wheel all the way to the left, and likewise if you're on the right side, turn the wheel all the way to the right. That'll just give you so much more access. It's not that relevant when you're taking everything out, but it's a lot easier when you're putting the new stuff back in. So you can change the main cooling rads whilst leaving the condensers in place. There's no need for me to do that. There's absolutely no gas in my car's system at all. I don't think it's worked for a long time now. So, and the condensers were just way past it. So I chose to just remove the condensers and throw them away. And this is where we can really see, you know, what happened to this poor radiator. I don't think anybody ever removed that condenser to get in behind it and give it a good clean. It's absolutely disgusting behind there. There's, you know, traces of coolant everywhere as well. So it was way past it. Oh, so this was something I found lodged in the radiator. If anyone knows what it is, please let me know. So one of the things I wasn't really fully prepared for was just how bad the radiator supports were. This one on the left hand side was worse than the right hand side one. In fact, the left hand side one, the one I'm working on now, it is too far gone. You can still buy them new, which is good, but I didn't really have time to go and order it and then wait for it to come in, and I needed to get the car back on the road. So what I've done is I've sort of made a note that I need to replace the radiator supports at one point. But for now, I've just got all the loose rust off, treated them with some cure rust. This one on the left hand side, I have actually had to reinforce it with like a JB Weld type material, because it did actually have a hole in it because there was so much corrosion. Then I've hit them with zinc primer and truck bed liner, which is like it's almost like a stone chip type paint. So that'll give them at least another few years of life. But yeah, like I say, I've just added it to the list of things to change in the future. So this is one thing I learned: don't reuse the constant pressure clamps, just use Jubilee clips. It's a lot quicker and easier, which is what I did on the other side of the car, which saved a good 15-20 minutes. So this is the other side of the car, the right hand side. Just a picture of the condenser there, absolutely terrible condition. But one thing that happened on this side, I did snap a bolt, unfortunately. One of the ones under the radiator support bracket. Whilst that bolt did break loose initially, I sort of felt a bit of resistance. And at that point I should have wound it back in and then wound it out again and just used a bit of patience, but I didn't, and it snapped. So there's another job for me to do at some point in the future, just remove the remains of that bolt. But other than that, this side was absolutely fine. Using Jubilee clips and moving the wheel out of the way, it was pretty easy, to be honest. So from this point on, I'm just putting the car back together basically. This is after I had refilled the coolant and ran the car up to temperature. So you'll notice that all the kind of how-to guides on these cars say that to refill the coolant you need to do it with a coolant, a vacuum refill thing and an air compressor and all that stuff, which I do have, but that would only work if the system was empty. Now what I did was I measured what came out of the car. It was 3 litres. So what I actually did was I dropped the front of the car on the ground, raised the rear of the car up, opened the coolant tank and then started the engine, and pretty much straight away I was able to put all of the stuff I'd mixed, about 3 litres, into the header tank to bring it back up to where it should be. When the car was fully up to temp and the thermostat opened, the car actually spat out about, I'd say about half a litre. So it came out the top of the expansion tank because I had the cap off. So once that settled down and it sort of found its level, put the cap back on and then just like really got it as hot as I could until the fans kicked in at the front, and then shut the engine off and then just left it overnight. In the morning the car needed about 200 mil or so. I then took the car for a drive and then waited another few hours with the bleed valve open on the expansion tank at the top, and then again left it overnight, and then it needed another 250 mil, something like that. But now it's absolutely fine. So it did need a couple of very small top-ups, but that's it really. This pretty much wraps it up. So yeah, thank you for watching.